It's the beginning of spring and it's finally sunny enough, well, warm enough to be sketching outside, which is really nice. Although, having not done much of this over the winter, I feel a bit nervous drawing from life again. But I found some good subjects. I'm at Ivan Dutton Limited, which is a fantastic Bugatti restoration workshop. It's run by Tim now, and he's just fed me a delicious meal. And now I'm down at Ivan's place, which is, Ivan has a YouTube channel called Shed Racing, which you probably watched. And I've had a lovely tour around his workshop. But out the back, I spotted this sad sight. But I thought it'd be a lovely topic to draw. It's a Humber, and apparently it was fully restored and on the back of a trailer being delivered, and the trailer came off and it ended up in a field upside down in that sorry state there. So it's I don't know, it's sad, but it's quite a fun thing to draw. It's got some nice shapes, and it takes the pressure off a bit because you don't have to be too accurate. It's all a bit it doesn't matter if you get the wheels a bit wonky, everything's wonky on it. I'm still persevering with these watercolor pencils. They're finding them an interesting challenge, and I've got a bit of a system now, so I start to here's what I've got so far. I don't know if you can see that. So the process I've been using so far, I'll show you one that I've done earlier. So the process is that I lightly sketch the car first with some you've got to be really light with these because they go much darker when you add the water. So lightly get the cars in and lightly put the shading in. Then I add some water just to get some washes in, making sure to leave some bits unwashed so that they're nice and bright, just like you would with watercolours. And then while the page is damp, I go back into the really dark areas because that drawing on the damp surface kind of melts the lead slightly and you get really rich dark colours. So I do the really dark bits then, and then I work sort of back and forth a little bit. I might wet the page a bit to get some darker bits in, or I might just put some light lines back into the wash because the wash smooths out everything, so it's quite nice just to get some line work back in. So I'll just get you a better shot of what I've done so far, and then I'll add the water. So you've got to be quite careful because it will get very dark very quickly, so I've got to try and link shapes together in a nice, pleasing way. Make sure to leave the blank bits blank for the bright bits. Try and get smoothish kind of washes. So you want to kind of link these shadows together so that it's got a bit of design to it. See how much darker it gets. So I'm trying to focus mostly on the undersides of stuff. It's actually got quite overcast now, so there's not very strong shadows in front of me. It's all, but I think with such a complicated subject, you need to kind of enhance those shadows that are there a bit just to make it read as a solid shape. Because at the moment there's just bounced light everywhere and it's not really reading as a 3D shape. Try and put some shading on the sides. So this is sort of a mid-tone or something, or just to differentiate the sides from the tops. So you've got some washes in that kind of describe the shape. There's a lovely, nice old tractor behind as well, which I'm going to use just to bring out the highlights on the bonnet or the radiator. don't want to put too much detail into that because it will distract from the foreground. And also these trees I think would be a good way of making the bright part of the engine cover, the bonnet lid, stand out. Giving it a bit of a frame as well, just makes the drawing stop somewhere. There we go. Just don't want to do too much on the tractor. So now I can go in and put some really dark shadows. So I might have to re-wet the page a bit just to get those to work. There'll be all this stuff under here is going to be really dark. It's interesting working with a new tool. It takes a little while to get used to it. But it's a nice way to renew your interest in drawing if you're in a bit of a rut. Perhaps you find yourself just drawing the same stuff with the same technique again and again. Quite nice just to pick a different medium and see how it changes what you do. So there's a bit of an old tarpaulin there which is disintegrated. I don't want to do too much on that, but see how dark the pencil gets when it hits a wet spot. It's going to be really dark under there. Might even add a bit more water. Maybe have a go at doing some negative shapes with these lighter patches of grass and sticks that are in there. God, it's so nice to be sitting outside hearing the birds tweet and stuff after several months sat at the desk looking at this computer screen and wearing loads of jumpers. Looking forward to a summer season, sitting out under the trees at Prescott. So I obviously won't be putting anything as dark as this on the tractor or the stuff behind, otherwise we'll lose the feeling of depth. And I'll even fade out the drawing as we get down the back end here. I'll still put some shading in, but it won't be as dark as it is at the front. That will give it a bit of a feeling of depth as well, hopefully.
And the man I sold it to is a Bentley man. I tell you the other thing it's got a Perro front axle. You know, like they have on the sides.
This background wash up there, it's gone, the lines have dissolved and it's a bit flat. So I could just put suggestion of some plants and things in there, which makes it a bit more interesting than this washy stuff. And it's the same on the car there, you give it a little bit of light hatching just to suggest what direction the surface is running in, and it adds a bit of interest to those blank areas. So there we are. I think I'm going to call that finished. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's been nice sitting out doing a bit of sketching in the warm weather. I'll try and find something interesting for you to look at next week. Until then, like and subscribe. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you again soon.